Welcome to the podcast, guys. Hannah, just, you know what? Tell people about this. Tell people about this.
Tell people about this. So we've got a bit of bass today.
A bass
provided.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we've got some rum punch. We've got 2 different types. I think we've got tropical.
Yeah, man, shake it before you drink it.
So obviously it's got Ray in it, so proceed with caution.
Do you get 2 each?
Yeah. And then there's a vodka one as well, which is like tropical vodka.
Yeah, I think this one's. I've got the rum one.
So yeah, give it a go.
It's Flavour Hut, isn't it?
Yeah, so you sell it in Flavour Hut, but then you can also order it from their Instagram page as well. But we'll link that.
It's one of those where, like, obviously I'm drinking it like it's juice because it is technically juice in it. But
Is your tomorrow off? You chilling?
Next question.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know. If you are, bliss.
Girl.
Yeah, I want to try the other one actually.
Girl, what's
It's
a day?
really nice.
Girl, what is a day off?
You might need
This
to
is
chill because I've got
scary.
gym in the morning, so.
I do as well. You'll be fine.
In it, I've got insanity in the morning. Woo!
Girl, that your lip gloss the light.
Shining.
Okay. Right, let's just jump. Shall we just jump straight in on this?
Woo! Sorry.
that one.
That one's nice.
That one a bit more free.
It's a bit more coconut.
Guys, COVID, you know. But anyway.
Mine.
Oh, please.
Delicious.
Woo! Right, anyway,
Yeah,
sorry, what we're all here for.
What we're all here for. So, I think this is going to be a really interesting topic, you know, because whilst we all vibe, because I know we're all mates and we all vibe.
We're all mates here.
Are we?
We're all mates here. While we all vibe, I know that our perspectives are going to be very interesting on this one still.
This is the first time I had no idea.
Yeah, I'm not telling you.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
my
you've not told her?
I didn't bother.
You're so
not telling
good.
anyone
So
what we're
basically,
doing.
this is what it is, right? No, I'm gonna mash it up. So
You're gonna mash it up?
yeah.
So basically, essentially what it is, can a modern day woman be with a traditional man?
For all the men I'm going to literally shade in this,
Oh, dear.
I'm not sorry.
Oh, she's getting out her little
I'm
black
sorry,
book.
sorry.
She's getting out the little black book.
I love this topic. So, you know what?
My
Let's
answer's
get
no.
to it. Like,
Next
You know what?
let's get to it.
My answer's no.
Okay.
I actually
So-
think we need to get guys on this as well. Like guys who are traditional, like guys. Do you know what I mean?
Hi,
Do we know
the
any?
nation of Nigeria, where are you?
Ring,
Ring pon.
Oh my lord. Guys, we didn't come here to throw shade. Why am I lying for? We absolutely
I'm not even.
This is not a safe space, and I'm okay with that, personally.
It is for us.
This is just a space that we hire.
That is funny.
Anywho.
Let's define what a modern day woman
That's
is.
exactly what I
right?
was gonna. Okay, this is why we bring you on here. You know exactly where I'm going with it. So go on, you kick us off then. What would you define as a modern day woman?
What would I define as a modern day woman? I would define a modern day woman as a woman who, like all of us, is about her shit. She is career driven. She has different hobbies. You know, she looks after herself. But I think the problem that we have is that, I'll speak from my perspective. Even though I am a modern woman and I do believe in feminism, I still would like to be taken care of. So, yes, that is a little bit of a paradox, but some men understand it. Do you know what? Not even some. All the men that I date understand it, and that's all I care about. So,
Do you want to be capped?
yes and no. So, I have always said that I want to be a stay-at-home mom for at least maybe 5 years when my children are born. Because
Girl, I'm sorry, girl.
I'm
We're speaking the same language.
You're
So
gonna be
you
too.
two.
and I think these two are gonna have different ones. But anyway, sorry. I'm going to carry a whole child for 9 months.
And you want me to start running around,
Doing the office.
bipping in the rush hour traffic?
Sorry.
Bipping?
No. So I always like, it's like a, before I get into a serious relationship, I'm always just like, hey man, listen.
These are the terms and conditions.
You have 5
darling.
working years with me left, okay? That's it. Like, don't sweat, because I've done a lot. And another guy actually explained it to me and said, you know what? It's reparations. As a woman, you're getting reparations for patriarchy.
Fam, that's what I've said. As long as this patriarchy still a thing, I want my perks. I want my perks.
Run me that reparations. That's
Okay,
it.
okay.
Alright.
I see where you're going with that.
I know you don't agree, honey, but please continue.
Like, not necessarily.
I've got your back,
Do you know what the maddest thing is? I always grew up being like, do you know what? If you want me to stay home, cook and clean, whatever, that's cool. But you better be on the higher wage. If I'm on the higher wage, you're staying at home and cooking and cleaning.
That's the balance.
Obviously, you do want to have that bonding time with your children. Like, absolutely, I don't want to miss out on that stuff because I feel like biologically we have so much more intensity in those emotions. Yeah. If I miss those things, I would probably be really, really upset, if I'm going to be honest with you. However, I feel like taking it, and I get what you're saying with the reparations for the patriarchy, but my view on that is you've got to be so careful because you can slip into giving up that independence. And the point of a modern day woman, in my book, and how feminism links into that, is having that financial freedom, having that the security and the independence of yourself, so that if anything, God forbid, the wheel falls off and you have to get a divorce, you got that money.
Yeah, of course.
You've got that money yourself. Like, you've
got
got
agency at the end of the day. Really,
like,
isn't it?
Don't get me wrong, divorce and everything whilst having a child is my worst nightmare because I come from a home where I've got both parents and we're all like quite close, and I was lucky enough to have grandparents that are still together, parents that are still together on both sides as well, so like that's what I want for my kids. Whether that gets twisted with the modern day lifestyle of a modern day woman, I feel like that is a difficult thing to achieve still, but sure. We can delve into that later on why I think so. Well, what do you think a modern day woman is?
I agree with what you said. I think for me, like I said, it's literally about agency. It's more about, I don't know, like, I'm allowed to be who I am in whatever entirety it is, even if it does not align with what you think a woman should be. So that's what the modern day woman is to me. It's not like this, like in this box, like this is what it is, ratatata. If you can be who you want to be in your entirety and in its fullness, that's it. Because I think that's the biggest thing. In the past, women weren't allowed to be who or what they wanted to be because society, men, whatever socialization put them in that box. So that, I think that's like the biggest defining bit. Let me be me.
Girl, I literally, like, I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more because the first thing I wrote down, I said, what does it mean to be a modern day woman? Just writing my thoughts down, whatever, and I went, whatever the fuck you want it to be. Because it's having the freedom to make that choice as to whether you want to be a stay-at-home mom or whether you want to be the boss-ass bitch that works and is a CEO and whatever. Like,
and all the like nuance in between.
Yeah, like, everything in between. But it's your damn choice, and that's the point. Like, that's what it is to me.
Yeah, that's like the biggest thing.
And what about you, Estelle? Estella.
Hey, girl. I'm here hosting this thing.
She's here for a good time.
Well, I'm here hosting this thing about what do you think. Like, you know, like, both of you, it's an amalgamation of you two, do you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day. Because for me, I like the fact that women, as you said, have agency, or have the ability to have agency, so they can choose to do what they want to do, but also they have the choice and freedom to define what being a woman means to them. So when we put up our story a couple of weeks ago for International Women's Day, we asked, like, women, what does being a woman be to you? And the amount of answers was so different. Yeah. But they were all right answers. There's no wrong answer.
Yeah, there is literally no wrong answer.
Don't you think, though, women that I don't want to say like fall into, women that adhere to what we deem as stereotypical roles of what womanhood is, so being stay-at-home mum, and women that happily want to do that effectively, they get bashed a lot, I think.
Oh, legit.
Which I think is a big issue, because I'm like, but
that's still your choice,
isn't it? That's their choice. Just you wanting to be a stay-at-home mum, doing up, I'm good, I'm not out here working no more, I want to be a lady of leisure, looking after my kids, going for lunch, going to play groups. That's what I want to do.
And I'm sorry,
that does not make you any less of the modern woman than who's like, do you know what, I've had my kid, but I'm gonna get a nanny and go back into my job, into my career or job, whatever.
You've also got to remember that it's not as if that's all that they're doing.
Yeah.
The lady of leisure life is not just that. Raising children is a full-time job.
Oh my
People
God,
need to see that as a job. It's not just
you take your kids to daycare.
The women of
and the
labour is
daycare
not
people
like that.
take care of your kids. You're doing that all the time.
Labour done by women is people think it's
Do you know
part
what I
of
mean?
it.
Has anyone seen that new program out on Netflix? It's called Motherland.
No.
Motherland.
Bruh.
No.
So it's this about this woman. It's an actual UK one as well, UK series, and it's about being a working mum and like trying to juggle everything, and the husband is basically doing nothing.
Sister's married as well.
She's married. But there's like, it shows all the different perspectives. So there's the single mum, there's the stay-at-home mums, there's like the little mums club, the little cliques and stuff, and everything that happens in between, and the problems that she has with like getting parents to look after things, or maybe parents that think they're helping but they're creating more work and stuff like that, like because she has to look after them as well. So it is, and don't get me wrong, I cringe so much while I'm watching it because it could be real life, like. And this woman, she's a fucking hot mess.
She's trying.
But she's giving it her best go. And she's getting no
Smart.
help. Do you know what I mean? So I just think, go on. But it's a really good representation of like the spectrum of different mums and stuff. And I think
So true.
that's why I started watching it really. I thought, yeah, go on, this is like, it's just like a comedy thing. But I thought it showed a really good representation of different lifestyles that people will choose to take. There was stay-at-home dads and stuff like that. And it goes on their story as well, and how they want to be a stay-at-home dad, but that causes like problem in the relationships and stuff within masculinity, and the woman feeling like, oh god, you're not really much of a man anymore, like you've turned into this stay-at-home dad that likes doing colouring in and stuff like that, and he's just like,
Colouring's so fun.
So
I love
precious,
it.
man.
I love colouring.
But I think
Leave him alone.
going back to what you said, I think the way that feminism has affected the modern day woman is both ways. So there's the people that like to keep the traditional views but maybe might have a feminist like opinion. They might be bashing other types of feminists for maybe being too masculine, or I've seen, like, do you know what, I've seen it on TikTok time and time again, women bashing other women for basically the spectrum of feminism. Like, it is what it is to you, and I always explain this to men when they ask me about feminism.
It's
it
empowering.
empowering
other
every
women.
woman has a different boundary. One woman might think, do you know what, I'm gonna empower myself with sexuality and sleep my way to the top. And another woman might think, well, you've just spread your legs to get a promotion.
But you're just upset because you're not there and she still got the promotion.
But that's not her vibe, and that is her vibe. Do you know what I mean? But they're both still feminists.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I have to explain this to people, like, there's a spectrum. Everyone has a different boundary. Everyone has a different thing. But hating on each other doesn't get anyone anywhere.
Absolutely not.
This is the problem. If people were more understanding of the fact that, do you know what, we can still be part of feminism but be at different ends of the spectrum,
Yeah.
we'd be able to move forward as a movement. But because people are too busy trying to be the perfect idea of what feminism is, and then shooting down anything else, it's like they want to be the spokesperson for it. So if anything else doesn't fit in that, then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
I'm an approachable feminist. Like, what is that?
You're
Like, what is
down.
that?
Like,
To who, though? To who? Because you might be to one feminist that's like the same type of feminist as you, but like you're cancelling out all these women's voices. So are you really a feminist? Like,
really, no.
at the end of the day, we're all women. We all got voices, and our opinions are valid. But you shouldn't be putting down other people. Like, we get that enough off men.
Yeah, I
What?
feel
Like,
the
why are we
moment
doing it to
you
ourselves?
kind of put yourself on a pedestal and your perspective in life isn't the be all and end all. You're not the alpha and omega
no.
at the end of the day.
No.
So the moment you like hold yourself to that standard, you're silencing other women's experiences.
And you're doing what patriarchy has been doing.
So baby, just pick what team you want to be on.
And I always say,
Pick what team you
you're
want to be on.
carrying that water from the patriarchy.
Yep.
And your back is hurting.
I was gonna
you're
say, are
wondering
you not? I was like, are
why.
you not tired?
Yeah, you know.
Are you not tired?
And you're still not got a man. So it's like, what's happening?
Oh.
What's happening?
Nah.
You don't even try it because you know the exact sort of women I'm on about that be doing that shit.
Yeah, but like, some of us are alright feminists and still don't have a man.
Yeah, exactly. So
explain that.
slap me twice. Why don't
So
you?
where do we go from there? Where do we go from there?
And this is it. So this must have been last year, and I was on Twitter, and a girl had tweeted, "Oh, you know, I can call out men, and I can be a feminist, and you know, I can bash men." Actually, is what she said, and be a feminist. and still be able to say that my man is like the pinnacle of men. Like he is, you know, obviously he's got his, he upholds patriarchy to some extent, right? Mm-hmm. But he's probably the more evolved of men. And a woman.
Where did you find him?
No, they're out there, guys.
Not in Yorkshire. Let me tell you that right now.
Maybe not Yorkshire.
Free.
I ain't gonna lie.
Not in Yorkshire,
guys, please.
But the number of feminists that came onto that to say, I hate these fake feminists who come on here to be showing off that they got a good guy when really they shouldn't.
Just say you don't have a good guy and keep it stepping.
Relax in it. Just say
you can have a good guy.
Just let people enjoy things. Like why don't you have a good? Like I'm sorry, but the way you know how men are these days. Once you get a good one, really and truly, you don't want to keep quiet about it. So let me enjoy. Let me live my moment. Okay,
people should be happy for you.
Exactly. Instead of saying, "Oh, you're not a real feminist because you're out here."
What?
You know,
shall I
pandering to men?
It's
like
I'm pandering to my man.
You're pandering to your man, and that's
your
my
man
business.
Can go fuck himself.
Do you know what I mean? You can pander to your own man if you want, and it's your choice. That's what we've been saying. It's you know the agency of being able to do that for yourself.
Yeah.
But other women are looking at you saying, "Oh my god, no, she's pandering. Oh, she's
you know,
a
a good example. Yolanda from Real Housewives.
You know what? I was like, if this girl is giving me a Real Housewives.
Yeah.
Oh,
do you know what?
What an interesting.
Can you give a bit of context for myself and anybody else who's
sorry.
on this?
So basically, she quoted, and her husband actually back quoted her on this as well. Well, her husband at the time. Yeah. Sorry, no spoilers. Basically, she prides herself on being a woman that uplifts women. Yeah. She's so like, we should all stick together. We've got it hard enough. Like if we're going through, we shouldn't be going at each other. We should always just talk it out, fix the problem. And she's very straightforward. The other side of her, she's a housewife. Yeah. She loves catering to her man. She was like, he is king in my house. Yeah. That is
cater to you, Destiny's Child is that girl.
That is it.
Anthem.
And she has two different sides. And I just think they can coexist. They can.
They can. Of course they can coexist.
I mean, the marriage didn't work out, but...
She can't even cater.
You had to say that, didn't you? You just had to.
Nah, come on, they were together for a long time.
Maybe she wasn't catering well enough, but I don't know.
That ain't none of my business, but her and him were together for quite a long time.
Can we also do a topic on that? How, you know, monogamy really should be changed these days? Because forever doesn't really need to be forever. Like some relationships, just because a relationship ended doesn't mean it didn't work. So yeah, they were together for a long time. But
I thought you were going a bit like, what are we doing about monogamy now? We ditching it? What?
I'm sorry, but
I'm not okay with that.
Guys, when you see the edit of this, I'm just gonna zoom into me drinking my drink. I was like,
I'm looking at Kay like we normally agree, but
I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying.
Think I'm gonna be sharing man?
He better get
me.
Time share on a man. No, thank you,
mad.
Oh Lord. What is? I was gonna ask if we're like defining the modern woman. What is traditional
man?
That's an interesting thing. So I want to hear what you guys think of this. Simply because what I found, and this is me talking from my experience. So I'm a woman who's like, you know what? I am a modern day woman, but I do want a more traditional gender role sort of relationship. However, when you have that in your mind and you go for a guy who is a traditional role sort of guy, you have to understand everything that comes within it.
Of course.
So, for example, like stuff that you just flat out disagree with.
Yeah.
That's annoying. 1 second, guys.
Excuse me?
Speaking of men.
Interrupted
our podcast.
Speaking of men. I mean, you can't say your name, really, but I know.
It's fine. It's only Alex making noise.
Fair.
But anyway, as I was saying, so for me, I'm one of those girls where I'm like, you know what? I do want the more traditional sort of roles in a relationship and whatnot. But then when you like see a guy who's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm on board with that, and then you're like,
so just to stop you before you go that far, what do you mean by traditional
roles? Not
roles?
traditional in terms of like, so for example,
what do you go like?
As
what
you were
saying,
not as in traditional as in like.
Let them know, Estelle. Just let the men know.
Give it to them.
Exactly what you mean.
Guys, get your notepads out.
Slide into the DMs appropriately if you fit. Okay.
All I'm saying is, for example, for me, I'm one of those where like. I love my job, I'm good at what I do, and I love doing that. However, as you were saying, over time, I would love to be a stay-at-home mum in it. Yep. Whereas some guys are like, no, you work as well. Feminism and all that, which is completely great. And if a woman wants to do that, fine. But for me, I'm a bit like, I'm more than happy. You know what? If you want dinner at 6 o'clock, honey, it'll be ready. Do you know what I mean? It will be there. No, it'll be there. It'll be there.
This is real and I love
No,
it.
fam, it'll be there.
I'm loving this.
Yeah, like
Even
I love
desserts.
cleaning. 10 a.m. gospel's on. Everyone knows what time it is.
Everyone knows what time.
Do you know what I mean? I don't mind, and I love that. But also
Good.
at the same time, when you like so I'm thinking some sort of guys who are so traditional in that view, that's all they can see. They're very, very blinkered.
Yeah.
So if you deviate for whatever reason outside of those gender roles or those norms, then they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, what do you mean? What I'm doing?"
Is that how
I'm
you?
doing me.
Is that how you've been brought up though? Is that what you? Is that
No.
your examples?
No. So my mum is a working woman. Albeit she works 2 days a week, but it's fine.
It's still work.
She works.
She's got a job.
Yeah.
She's got a job, and
She
she gets
making
paid.
moolah.
She gets paid very well. Go on, mumsy. So that's not necessary, but I think that's just for me. And what I like, but then again, it can be down to culture.
Yeah.
So obviously, I'm half African, half Caribbean, so it's kind of the mix of those two. But yeah, that's just me. But yeah, guys, thoughts on traditional men? Can a modern woman be with a traditional guy?
Go ahead.
See, I like a hybrid traditional man.
A neo man, if you will.
We like
A neo man, if you will.
You know, new school, because I think because you're being as a modern day woman and you have your choice to be independent and to work, you also need that flexibility for somebody to understand. So as much as I do want to be kept, there also has to be a balance. So I am like you. I'm happy to submit to the right person. Do you know what I mean? I will give submission to somebody who I think is worthy. But I'm happy to do things too. So it's not as if I'm saying they have to do everything for me or pay for everything for me. Especially in the dating stage, I think for me, I always want to see just how generous someone is. And if I know that you're generous, me too, I'll open my pockets. I'll
But the
also
thing
be
is,
doing this
I
for
would
you
never
too.
ever expect someone to do
Yeah.
something for me that I cannot do myself.
In Jesus'
Ever.
name, amen.
Thank you, because like, do you know how uncomfortable it is if someone does something for me and I'm like, I could never ever
Right?
reciprocate
Can you
to
imagine
that level
Yeah.
ever.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
I think that's the biggest thing, because the problem that we have these days is that a lot of people are asking for things that they couldn't do.
You weren't doing it before then.
Innit, Prada hat. I want Prada hat.
You know,
Did you-
Oh, we need to go into that still.
Did you buy yourself that before this? Go ahead.
And you know
Can you
what's
even buy
funny?
yourself Adidas?
But this is the problem that people don't want to do. She probably could find somebody who could do that for her, but she'd have to make allowances. She probably wouldn't have the man that she has right now, and that's the
Yeah,
problem.
he'd be about 30
She
years
wa-
older.
You cannot have your cake and eat it. You have to make he would have to be 30 years old, probably. Or a millionaire. Or there's, do you know what I mean? Like, there's certain types
listening
of
to him and his reasons why she weren't getting
that cannot be a real relationship.
So
I
context,
still don't
guys,
believe that's
what we're
real.
talking about. Is it, what is it called? Blue
Therapy.
Blue Therapy. If you haven't watched Blue Therapy, if you want some...
What a random plug.
If you wanna watch some drama, we haven't even been commissioned to promote this thing, but I promise you, is it
I
on?
think there's a new episode out today.
It's on YouTube.
It's on
Thursday,
YouTube.
8 p.m. I think.
On
Is it?
it's,
I think so.
So it's on
That's what I
YouTube,
heard.
Trend Central. It's called Blue Therapy, and you've got two couples, who speak with a therapist about the dynamics within their relationship.
I got
and
wrinkles from watching
honestly,
this. I was
it is
They're
brazy.
gluing up your face the whole
like,
time.
this the
yeah.
whole time. I was like, Estelle's watching me react to it. So
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
It was
Shut
crazy.
up, man.
But thinking of that, don't you?
This is why I need a traditional man.
No, but then I'm not gonna lie. So men like Paul.
What do you need men for?
because
Paul
how
kind
can
of
you-
falls into.
That's. Do you see what I'm saying? When you have to
Into
that.
think about what it is that you want.
No,
Because
there's a right. He has traditional values, but man's also tapped. I don't want a tap man.
He's so
Thank you.
unwell.
You
Bless
are.
it
him,
is actually not right.
Yeah. So what are you saying?
I think I was gonna go to the same point that you were making.
Because I think he's quite traditional, but I think Choma is like a hybrid. She is traditional.
She's a hybrid modern
and
woman.
she's
Yes,
a modern
man.
woman. So I think she's kind of fighting between the two, but because he's so stuck in his ways, he wanted to go to church. I was talking to Estelle about this. So he wanted to go to church. He said, "This is where I think we should be resolving it." I was like,
Speak to pastor.
Pastor is cheating on his wife. Hurry! Give me. Go ahead.
So my problem with that is now I'm Christian.
Yes.
So my problem with that, you're inherently trying to go to another male perspective to give you another patriarchal perspective that is also backed up by the Bible. However, one perception of the Bible, and therefore she has to sit and listen to it from two men that are going to tell her, this is what you should be representing this way, this is image, this is that, the other.
And when he was pointing his finger like that.
Wagging his finger. Sorry, I don't know.
Am I a dog?
I don't know.
I would break it off.
Am I
How
a child?
embarrassing.
But I think the reason why
Even a child.
a man like Paul wanted to go to a man of God to discuss what was going on is because he knows they were going to be on my side.
Of course.
He knows the answer he's going to get.
He knows. He was like, I'm going to go in there and it's going to be a place where I can shine bright like a diamond and show him what's going to look like the fall.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted. And in that space, he got exposed effectively. His flaws were bright and everywhere. And he did not
come correct in any type of way.
No.
That guy had a bad attitude. And for someone who's so obsessed with image, boy, you don't know how to carry yourself at all.
It's not adding up at all.
I was literally looking at it like...
It was a mad one. I don't want to isolate people in it that haven't seen this blue.
I think you should go watch it.
Blue table
Sour
minute.
Rosa.
Traditional answer, you?
What is, Hannah, what is
Could
the...
you be with one?
I think it would have to be a flexi guy. Like, it would have to be a flexi guy.
Oh, like flexible.
And
Yeah.
sexy.
Oh, okay.
Sexy,
I was
sexy
like, do you mean Drake? But like, I was so confused.
Have you met me? I don't need the drip.
I was so confused.
I don't need nothing fancy. I need my essentials and that's it. For me, believe it or not, I could be with a part traditional guy.
I don't believe it.
I'm so sorry.
I don't believe it.
If you ask anyone in high school, right, I always used to be like, yeah, but I'll stay at home. I'll cook or clean. That's optimum job. That's great. I like cleaning. I like cooking, but I don't like it being expected of me. If you expect it, if I don't have a choice in the matter, if you're like basically being like, you're going to do this, I don't like being told what to do.
Could you imagine, Hannah, what's for dinner?
I'll be like, what?
What
have you brought home?
Delivery right now and order your food.
Oh no, never. I like cooking. I like doing all of that, but as soon as it's expected, as soon as someone doesn't give me a choice in the matter, I literally do not like being told what to do. So I'll immediately be like, what? Even if I was going to go do it and you go, where's this? I'm not doing it no more. I'm literally like, just because of the bad attitudes, do you know what I mean? I'd rather go and work. Do you know what I mean? But
This girl would rather uphold capitalism though.
There's too many evil forces to fight.
Honestly,
But I do think
I'm
with
tired.
a lot of like traditional men in that kind of realm and sort of you don't want to be told what to do. I think this might be problematic, but traditional men in the sense that we're describing tend to be synonymous with men that take that alpha role very literally.
But that's why we've been
But I
saying
like
we want a
alpha.
hybrid.
Yeah,
We've all been saying we want a little bit of a,
I don't know.
we're all strong characters at the end of the day.
Exactly.
I don't like someone that I'm going to be able to push around.
No,
Like, that's
definitely
not.
not. Please.
That's not me. I need someone that's going to help me
Push
grow
around.
and be like, shut the fuck up when I'm being a dick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Respectfully, but yes.
respect. You don't
Not
tell me
even,
to shut the fuck
like-
up because I'm like, who the fuck?
With all the disrespect.
What?
There's no like
You're telling me you'd like that?
No,
You
you
like
said
disrespect.
respectfully about like shut the fuck up.
I said-
no. When she said shut the fuck up, you were like respectfully. Not respectfully. I wouldn't
If you-
say-
if you need
if
to-
you're moving mad and I tell you
if
shut
you
the
need
fuck
to
up,
shut your teeth,
then I'll tell you
shut your
fuck up.
teeth.
But like not respectfully.
I've told you to shut the fuck up. That means disrespect has come my way. So why would I say that respectfully?
No, but so sorry. I thought
She ain't
that
saying.
you see I thought she was like getting turned on by men being like, oh, shut the fuck up. So I thought you were like,
How did we get here?
No.
That's
why I was looking at you funny. I was like, you.
You're like, what?
Guys,
I was
just
like,
for context, yeah, we're filming this episode at 10:30 at night.
It's been a long day.
Oh god.
But yeah, no, that's why we've been saying we want hybrids.
Yeah, it's got to be a hybrid. You need to have that flexibility because at the end of the day, it's a partnership. They had me at the beginning where they were like, we help each other reach each other's goals and stuff like that. But then it moved a bit mad where that traditional side was very much like what I say goes, and that's not how a relationship works to me. It's very much,
are you my
let's
father?
have a
Like, in what world?
yeah, no, my
father?
parents don't treat
Like,
me with
right,
that
my own,
disrespect.
yeah.
They've never disrespected me like that. Me and my parents don't even swear in front of each other. It's a respect thing, like, and if you're gonna have a serious conversation and you're feeling some type of way about something, you don't
No.
what? Imagine if someone shushed me. I'm walking out because I'm not here for that.
Cameras.
What?
Yes. Like,
You cannot silence me.
like, no, yeah.
Like, it is a complete respect thing, and if you both come to an agreement, then that's fine. But it cannot be what I say goes because I make the money, because I can easily go make money. That's no problem. I'm choosing to do this for the benefit of the family.
No, of course.
So therefore, show me some respect, because God knows a traditional man in the traditional sense couldn't hack it. They couldn't hack it.
See, I think because I've grown up in a very, very traditional sense, and my siblings are all a lot older than me. So my mom and dad were together for 25 years, and my mom was a stay-at-home mom, but she did do stints of like creating her own restaurant, and she had her own like sewing business and all that stuff.
Amazing.
But all of my siblings as well, especially my brothers, have been the heads of their family. So in one of the dynamics, one of my sister-in-laws works, but it's always been just expected that my brother kind of leads, and you know, if he gets a job somewhere, for example, she'll move like they have done just now. And then with my other brother, my other sister-in-law decided that she'd stop working. It was just easier because he made enough money. And again, whenever he would move around, they moved together wherever his job went. But I also think that's because obviously I'm biased, but my brothers are very upstanding men, so they can be trusted, and I think you can submit to somebody and allow them to have a certain degree of control of your life if you know that they're making choices for your benefit as well.
Yeah.
So
It's not.
It's the making
it's
choices
not even,
for you.
For me,
That's
it's
the
not
bit
even
that I don't
control.
like.
No, I don't even think it's
It's the
control.
conversation.
I think it's more trust, which is what I think
trust,
you're saying.
exactly. So I think
So,
if
like,
you trust somebody enough, you'll submit, right? If you know that they have your best interest.
100%.
But also, you're
For
not
me-
making decisions without me.
So for me, like, if someone said to me, because somebody even asked me the other day, they were like, okay, so what would you look for in a guy if you were going into a relationship? And like, the two things that I said was like safety and security in it. Not that I can't provide that for myself, because I can. And even because of the job I do, that's what I help people to feel safe and secure. That's what I do. And I'm like, that's what I'd want for someone else. So what you were saying in terms of like the trust of allowing them to not make decisions, but be confident in the decisions that they make.
Exactly that.
And to be okay with it rather than it be like...
So it's not as if the conversations aren't necessarily had, but it's not really like you need to consult me, because you trust that, hey, we're doing this move because it's going to set you up for your career, that's going to make more money for us as a family, we're going to be looked after better, we're going to be kept better.
So if your man comes home and he goes, right, we're moving.
It's not that though, is it?
It's fine, because like at the end of the day, I live in Leeds. If he
I'm
wants to move to
moving 'cause of
Manchester, fine.
this.
If he's moving to, I don't know, Taiwan.
No, but like,
for me,
for me, it's the principle of coming home and not being consulted about that. Like, I know you say it's not consulting, but at the same time, you can't come home and be like, this is what's happening. Whether I trust you or not, and it's in the best interest or whatever, having that autonomy taken away from me is not a thing I can handle.
But it would be
because
discussed though, wouldn't it?
Most
Yeah,
likely,
exactly. It's
I'm going to
discussed.
agree. Most likely, I'm going to agree because I will trust in the decisions or where we're going.
Okay.
But if you make the decision for me, then it's a no-go. I will just say no simply because you made the decision without me.
I get where you're coming from.
Because that's not fair.
I mean, I think that's just consideration at the end of the day.
That's like I'm sorry, that's like having a child without consulting your man. Like, if you're married or whatever and you come off birth control.
A lot of people do that, but continue.
Yeah, people do it. It's crazy, but people do it. Like, you come off birth control and you
not
don't
tell your partner.
That's a massive decision
Yeah.
that you've not consulted someone on, and it affects you both. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just taking that autonomy away. I think is a little bit mad for me.
No, I get you, and I shouldn't. Okay, so the word isn't control, but it's more they lead. So the conversation will come from, this is the job offer that I got. This is what I want us to do with the family. What do you think?
Yeah, that's
but
fine.
You'd actually, because you know that they are the breadwinner and you trust them to lead, you're
okay with that,
and you're okay with it.
Yeah, that is fine because there's been that conversation, but you can't come home and be like, you got to trust.
No,
my
I think
decision.
that's mad. I don't think
I
that's
accepted this
Pack
job
your bags,
already.
sweetie, we're going. Okay, yeah.
Does anybody? Right, I feel like everyone will say no, but has anyone seen Friends? Joe when Chandler like accidentally like
got that job
in Tulsa.
Yeah.
And he goes, honey, when we went to Tulsa, she's like,
No, we're not.
what?
Just to clarify, I cannot be with a traditional man.
So
Casey,
what
that
is
doesn't
it
surprise
that-
you. That's why I got you on this, honey.
What is it that doesn't gel with you?
I'm just very, very aware that when we say traditional, innit, are we thinking of like traits? Are we thinking about gender roles? Because I know that we've got...
I think it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
So
Like,
what do you mean specifically?
And it also, culturally, it's traditional.
Yeah, I think the culture is
culturally
quite different.
traditional varies vastly. Like,
Girl.
vastly.
So, Casey,
Why do you think
why-
there's only a certain type of man that actually
Why
date?
could you not?
Like,
Why
you
could
can
you not
literally
be
look
with a
at my
traditional guy as a modern woman?
Yeah. So don't, guys, let me just gather my thoughts so this doesn't come across wrong. For the woman that I am, it's just not gonna work.
Oh, screw.
Okay, how do I put this?
What
in not...
doesn't gel with you? Like, what will you not...
Okay, so the way I understand a traditional man, I agree with like what everybody has put, like bits and bobs of what everybody has said. There's no like, you know, general, but yeah, bits and bobs of what everyone said. I like understand it is somebody leading and you're leading me in the correct direction. Somebody, if it's traditional gender roles, that's fine, everything. But for me, and I know it's gonna be problematic. In cases when I have entertained men that are traditional and hold traditional values, because of the sort of woman I am, it just doesn't work. And I'm going to use the word like liberally, but the way I perceive the world, the way I navigate my life, the way I, even the way I carry myself, the way, just who I am as a person, I'd be an idiot to think that I could settle down with a traditional man. It doesn't make sense in a compatible ways. And I think that has a lot to do with my independence is of top priority to me. And I don't think your independence automatically is taken away when you, if you were to get a traditional man. But in my experiences, it feels like I'm compromising my independence. And that for me is not something I'm willing to do. So I wouldn't settle down with a traditional man in that sense. It hasn't worked.
Okay.
And it's not going to work.
So I see what you're saying. So, as we've touched on before, that's exactly the vibe I'm on. It's like I cannot compromise my independence.
Yeah.
But what about when it comes to traditional traits like chivalry or purchasing items or taking you out on the dates, like
Do you align that with traditionalness? For me, that's basic manners.
No, but for me, I don't. So simply because I've been in relationships where someone just doesn't understand to hold the door for, like, not even like to, I'm not saying hold the door, like open the door for me and let me walk through. Like, I'm saying like, Joe, when they walk through the door, they open it just so they can
yeah.
That explains that you haven't got basic manners.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just squeeze through.
That's
Whereas, let me just say, I've also been in like situations where guys generally like held the door open for me, and I was just stood there like, "Are you not going to go through?" And then he was like, "No," and I was like, "Oh."
See,
and I was there like,
wait, can I just say I have not very little interest. For me, my idea of when I get to that point in my life, I'm not looking to be a woman to be kept. If I'm being completely honest, I don't need to be kept. The person I like end up being with, that is not going to be, I don't know, the dynamic just for me, because that's not what I want. And and even though like growing up, I've had like a different variations of it, I guess, because like your parents' marriages go up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah, just for me, because I'm not looking to be kept, because I have no plans on ever being a stay-at-home mum, because I know I will be a working mum at some point. To be with somebody that doesn't understand that in order for me to be the best partner for you, I need to feel like my independence is not being compromised.
Right.
And whenever I have entertained men that are traditional, that has always been the case. So I think that's why I find it very hard when you guys are saying, I want a hybrid. I'm like, well, what does that hybrid even look like?
It's so weird, but
what does that hybrid even like look like?
But I think I'm quite lucky in this experience, because I genuinely feel like all the guys I've dated or taken seriously tend to still give me my independence even when they are being like that. And I think I guess it's difficult because I've not got to the point of like marrying someone, so I don't know if it would change. But all I know is that there are definitely men who completely understand that, like, in fact, not even completely understand. I guess they understand my point of view, but there are men who are hybrid traditional men who see themselves as what they would call like a traditional man, but they also see themselves as like a modern man, and they define being a man or being an alpha in their own terms. And
that makes sense for what a hybrid is then, effectively.
Yeah.
So I just would find it, I don't know, I just think I'd find it very difficult if I met somebody and their perspectives on lives or how relationships should be navigated are very just kind of backwards in my view. Yeah, maybe. Or just in a way, like, I don't know, I'm a broken record, but just in a way that I'm having to ask for my independence to be made a priority again. Because that's not up for negotiation realistically at any point. Start, middle, end. I'm not negotiating that. Because men do not negotiate jack shit. So I'm not going to negotiate that at all.
So I said reparations.
So I think it has a lot to do with, like, kind of, I guess, what I envision for older me isn't traditional in that sense. So I don't really envision myself with somebody with traditional views. I too would like a hybrid, but I think a hybrid for me is somebody that's like, you do you, I do me, and when we come together, we can figure it out. But I just don't want, I don't know, I just don't want someone to stop doing them because I've come into their life.
Yeah, because I mean...
And vice versa. Yeah. But some people do that,
That would give me the ick. Because I'd be like, what, you got no life because you got me.
I can't be me and who I am. You cannot become your entirety.
Yeah, because you can share your life.
Baby, you are not about to be my entirety. Let me tell you that right now. So, I don't know what to tell you. And that's really upsetting. I understand that, but I've told you. So...
So I think we've touched on a load of different things about how things like feminism and being a modern day woman has affected traditional roles or traditional relationships. And I think it's things like, obviously we've got the freedom to have the breadwinning jobs and I mean, we're not quite there yet, but there's some people out there that have made it to those positions. And that might not give you the opportunity to spend the time home with the kids and whatever. And that might be fine for you. It might not be fine for you. Like, you might still want to have the family unit. But luckily, in today's day and age, we've got options for everyone. We've got nannies. We've got, like, living carers and things like that can help with those situations. But it does completely depend on how deeply rooted the traditions are. Because I want to make a sort of a drawing a line between things like manners. So obviously you mentioned that you thought it was manners.
Pull her, please, because that was a very interesting point.
So like,
because you said different things. You were like chivalry. If it's gift buying and whatnot, that's not manners.
See, that's not what I'm talking about. So chivalry.
What are you talking about when you say things like that?
So I think chivalry is quite a traditional thing because not all men believe in this anymore because of the rise of feminism. They got their they got their backs up a bit. Do you know what I mean? They're kind of like,
you split the bill sort of thing.
Yeah, and and there is no. Don't get me wrong. Oh God, don't get me wrong. So we all know I've lived a tragic life where it's okay. I'm moving on. But I have got no problem with paying my damn bill. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. However,
the first one.
Go.
The first one, Hannah.
Yeah,
so my rule is if you're asking me out and you're asking for my time, I have very valuable time, right? Because I'm a busy, busy girl. So
I don't even want to be here.
If you want my time, you are paying for that bill because you've asked me. If I ask you,
I'm paying.
That's different.
I'm paying. So I want you here.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, see, and again, I just don't agree with you guys on this one. What? If you're trying to chase me, if you are trying to be in my life, whether or not I've asked you, you should pay as the man. And it's
every single time.
No. The first 3 times at least.
Oh, 3?
Yeah. And then once I see you can pay 3 times, I will be. Listen, I will.
What if it's like Mackie's now?
But the thing is,
I'm agreeing with her because a man wanting to pay on the first date, the first 3 whatever. For me, that speaks to be like, okay, that is.
No, but I do agree with you. I do agree with you. But the reason why it's so shocking to us in it is because you've lived a blessed life in it. You've lived a blessed life. So to me, and I'm like,
stop laughing at our lives.
I'm laughing because I couldn't. No, guys. Honestly,
no. But when I say that, when I was younger in it, that wasn't the case. But obviously, when you're younger, it's a bit. Everyone's doing anything and everything. Now, as a 24-year-old, thank the Lord, that has not been my experience. It's all
I
good.
think
It's all good. It's all good now. Right now, it's all good now. Don't worry.
The idea of traditional men and
Don't
the modern woman, I think we haven't talked about it yet, but it keeps coming back to money.
literally.
Money is a really big defining factor as to how people understand their roles.
But the thing is, so when I was speaking to somebody else about this, they were like, yeah, like, so this guy was like, if I were to pay for a girl when she was out, it's not necessarily because of the money thing. It's like, for him, it's how he feels as a man. Like, it's almost pride. Like, that's literally what he said. He was like, it's pride. It's not because it's like he's like, it's not because you can't pay, and it's not because I can pay. I just want to show that I want to do this for you, and I wouldn't go and do this for other people.
But it sets a standard as well.
Legit.
It does, like, it's but it does set a standard, I think, because if you make me, and the one time I split, but I never saw that man again. Like, if you make me split, I never saw that man again.
No. So what?
If you make me do that on the first date,
Girl, it was the first date,
Sis.
bitch. I split. Let me not. But people don't need to know about my else.
The way I'm not relating to all of you right now.
That man, and I went. And the audacity.
Can you see the way that I'm clutching my breath?
No, my chest was hurting, bitch. Do you want to go out again at the end of the week?
Sorry, I don't have the money.
Absolutely.
But,
I'm not touching that anyway. The point I was trying to make is that if it just sets precedent, it literally sets precedent for the relationship. Because I do not want to be with somebody that is coming across stingy.
Oh.
You should be able, before you take a girl on a date, you should be able to know that she's worth it or not.
Exactly.
Don't take a woman on a date if you don't think so. But the thing that I hate about this is that men really believe that there are women out here who don't do shit, like, as in even after 4 or 5 dates. But we've both just said,
we'll go over and beyond. I'll go over and beyond.
There's no way you've covered the first 2.
I'll go over
and
and beyond.
I'm like,
oh my god, like, I won't take you to Nobu Hakasan, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I will pay for the time.
So you're saying you don't want to pay for the first 3 dates when, after so much time, I'm making dinner at 6 o'clock every night for the rest of my life.
You can tell a lot.
You must be mad.
Even if it's pride, I need you to have that pride.
But,
do you know what?
So
I think
an
it's
interesting
a respect thing for me. Like, you need to be respecting my time. You need to be respecting that I've given up some of my time to spend time with you. Like, and if you're not rating me and enough to, like, even offer to pay the bill, I'm like, I could have been. I could be doing a lot of different things that could, 1, be making me money, 2, be bringing me peace, and 3, either relaxing me and, like, being here and being in a stressful situation where you think, oh god, about the bill, whatever. I'd rather just pay. If you're gonna,
that's why
you're gonna go right.
So an interesting thing that I've heard, the difference between, like, your traditional men, like your more neo man.
The hybrid.
So with some traditional men, they're like, I want to pay because it helps me feel like a man. It's just a thing that I don't understand it. So, like, some guys are like, what is she on about? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't think like that. But other guys, they were like, you know what? If a girl offers to pay, I'm okay with it. Whereas, like, no, but the thing is, though, I understand. No, but the thing is, though, if you, but the thing is, though, let's say this is like a couple, like, let's say if this is a couple of dates down the line, and you said you want to pay, and the guy's all right with it, but with some traditional guys, they'd rather die than you tap your card. Do you know what I mean?
And that's too much for me, because
whereas I'm like, if I want to do something for you, and you're saying no, Relax.
Ew, that.
Do you know what I
know
mean?
What the men that are
And
like,
that is traditional.
not letting my woman pay. Put your purse up.
Exactly. I want to do this
Go
for
ahead,
you.
Daddy. What do you need to do? Put it on the Amex. I'm joking. I don't want to mess. I never date men like that. Sorry. Men like that do not like me.
But that's what I'm saying. You've got the difference between your traditional man who literally will not allow you, whereas the other guys were like, of course they'll pay. But like, if you've said, you know what,
that's toxic. That's why, because you know that he's gonna get in his feelings about a bunch of other things that emasculate him.
But exactly, but that's why I'm saying. So could a modern day woman be with the traditional? So like we're saying
that's a no, babe.
but that's why we're saying like exactly
I
we're
think
saying
at
that
the
we want
core
a guy
of
to
it's a
pay, but if
no.
he's to the point where he's like, no, I'm always going to pay, and then if something goes wrong, you can't go anywhere because he's not allowing you to.
He's not hybrid though, so we don't want him.
So
Yeah,
flip that.
Yeah.
So we did also define a modern day woman as whatever the fuck she wants to be. So there are gonna be women out there that are modern day women that think, yeah, I'll go along with this. Yeah, I can be okay with that as long as I have da. Do you know what I mean? So I think.
True, we did
They
say
can't,
that.
do you know, upon that
say that,
definition,
girls.
upon that definition that we all gave, there is. However, it depends on what people deem as a modern day woman. And like I said, I think it's a spectrum. Just like I feel like traditional men have a spectrum. Like,
No, I agree.
Definitely.
But I would, like I keep saying, I could not, because the way you guys are describing it, correct me if I'm wrong, not so much you two. Let me just clarify who I'm talking about here.
I was like, you know what, honey,
again.
point all you want.
No. If anyone's blink twice, if I blink twice. No, from the way you guys are describing it, I feel like you two would be more likely and more comfortable to be with men that are on, say this is the spectrum of traditional men, non-traditional, traditional. You guys would be closer to it.
Traditional
Men.
yeah, of course.
Compared to like where me and Hannah's like here, and I'm like here.
Yeah.
So
I'm not even gonna deny
and
that.
I'm like,
no.
But I don't think even in 1, 2, 3, 4 points of those, either one of us is less than a modern woman.
Oh no, exactly.
Which I think is important to reiterate. But I do think traditional men though, a lot of the times, like I think culture is such a big factor because what a Caucasian man deems as traditional and what a black man does, baby, I'm so sorry, but they're worlds apart. They're actually are well and
And
truly,
even within black men,
even
right?
within
so
black
Jamaican,
men,
that's what I'm
African,
saying about
even
culture.
in Africa.
wherever,
Ghanaian,
like
Nigerian,
there's so much
Zimbabwean.
nuance. Don't trigger me. There's so much nuance in what the traditional man is. I just think you whatever
Traditional in what culture? Do you know what I
traditional
mean?
what culture?
Traditional in what religion?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But this is why this is why you have relationships need to stop being so much necessarily about like traditional roles, but finding somebody who matches you and what you want. Like relationships have to be a negotiation, and that's why I keep saying like I've been lucky to date men who might have some traditional mindsets, but they tend to perceive the world in the same way that I do. And like you guys have met Midday, for example, so he's so.
Oh, she said his name.
Come if you lie.
No, I know.
Midday.
Don't you worry, hon. I'm putting his out on this thing.
Oh my god, I can't even say what I want to
social
say.
media right now.
Go,
So it's fine.
Oh, do what you do. Go ahead.
You hear that, boy? She's off the market.
Go on.
Wow. Anyway, one of the things that I love about him is that we do see the world in the same way. And in fact, he is the person who was like, no, I'm not gonna lie, babes. You know what? As a woman, you have it hard. He's seen what I've had to go through. And not just as a woman, as a black woman. And he sees that and he says, I want to make your life easier. Do you know what I mean? He's not doing it because I'm a man and I feel like I'm entitled to this.
Because he understands you.
Exactly. Because he understands me. And also, you have to be self-aware. So he knows that he's got a lot of Nigerian, Yoruba demon in him that makes him a little bit, toxically masculine. He knows, but he checks himself and he's aware of it. So there'll be times where we have a disagreement and he'll go back and go, do you know what? You're right. I wasn't seeing that clearly. So you need to find the person who's going to be able to match you and be able to negotiate with you with what you want, because I don't think I really don't think a modern day woman can be with a traditional man, but I do believe
If
a
we're
modern
talking
day
about
woman.
the two ends of the spectrum.
Exactly.
Yeah,
If we're
two
saying
ends of the spectrum.
There's no
can't.
wiggle room.
But the nuanced versions of that.
It's rigidity.
They can.
That's
They can.
it. There's
But
no.
do you know, I have met guys,
no
right,
movement.
we chat, ratatata, good vibes. I'm like, yeah, a bit of me. And then it comes to like, we talk about family dynamics, and they're so like traditional, but it doesn't align because I'm like, but our ideas on the world match up. But your dynamics of what kind of a long-term relationship or marriage are like are really traditional. That always, when I do that, rattles me. I'm in like a state of panic because I'm like, well, what do I do now? Because on paper, that's technically a hybrid. It's a bit of both. But that does not work for me.
That's a whole different level of complexity. So I was reading up on different blogs.
Girl did her research.
Girl's got her sources.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Reference that shit.
Citation needed. And they were saying how like when they've had encounters with different guys, the difference in dating and their views and marriage and their views are completely different.
What the fuck is up with that? Somebody answer me right now when you see this video.
I
or this
actually
podcast.
think it was a Hindu blog actually. And they were talking about like what when they spoke to guys, they said like, what would your wifey essentially be? And they'd be like, she looks after the home, she goes temple every day, she like
Every day.
cooks, cleans.
Hope that's round the
Tell
that's round the corner.
I'm not gonna lie, but like,
Temple.
really?
It better be around the corner. Next to the kids' school.
But they asked them about relationships, just like relationships.
Yeah.
Obviously, they assume
Carefree, outgoing,
no,
on her
beautiful, literally outgoing, wants to have fun,
team. Bubbly, adventurous.
laid back, not outspoken.
What you're saying is you want me to be the fluffer before your wife. You want to take me for a jobs before you decide to settle down.
So this
so
brings a whole
bizarre.
new level to it, because to me, as someone who's just coming into the dating like game, that's terrifying. So
hear
what,
that, guys?
So what? Shut up.
Oh God, I was gonna say something so wild.
She's
right
exploring
now.
the market.
Nah.
She's exploring the
Really about
market.
this thing,
Testing, can y'all hear that?
Exploring the market.
I think that's
She's
wild.
available.
Like, how am I supposed to know
It actually
if
rattles
you're
me.
dating
And that's why-
to date that, or because I'm wifey, I don't give a fuck. I'm wifey
And you
because
know-
I give everything. I don't ask for much. You said it before. You're a simple woman. You
Yeah,
want
you
simple
are a simple
things.
woman.
So when I ask for something, I get annoyed when I don't get it because
You
I'm
really
so
ask for
simple.
But this is the thing. This is why we talked about the whole men paying, even at least the first 3 times. Because, okay, I'm not saying money is just the be all and end of it, but that's the start, right?
part of
To
it.
see that somebody's actually trying to take you seriously, that somebody's not. Obviously, in the beginning, nobody knows if they're going to marry you, but if they want to be in a serious relationship with you, a man will put in the time, the effort, and the money and the resources.
But they
If he
will also
has
do
it.
that for the punani.
Yeah, but you.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I agree with that, but the extent,
Yeah.
the extent
Yeah,
is
facts.
very different.
You'll know.
Yeah, you'll know.
The way,
Will
the way,
Yeah, you will. You will know.
You
You'll
will
know. You'll
girl,
know.
you know
You'll
the
know.
difference between a man that is doing the most to impress
For you.
for the
Yeah.
for the blood
To
clot
chase
pussy,
you. Yep.
or
You'll know.
for
Yeah.
a man that's like doing it because it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I think this
see
is
how
I want
you
to see this.
did.
You'll be able to tell the difference. I
So
promise
for
you.
me, I normally go off language for that. I never go off like how much cash you flash or whatever. I'm looking at whether you're paying attention to what I'm saying, whether you're checking in on little tiny things that I might have mentioned, like. I mean, y'all know I talk about Shuba on a daily.
Yeah.
So if I've mentioned her,
Yeah, you
Which-
And you say shoots, and,
and
they're
they
like,
say,
"Who's
"Who's
that?"
that?" I'm sorry, you ain't
On to
been
the next.
listening. You're not listening. Do you know what I mean? And therefore, I'm writing a little black mark next to your name.
Absolutely.
No.
That's paying attention to detail, but that's like time, investing time in you to actually get to know you. Resources is spending money on you and actually being able to. And the funny thing is, do you know what? Dates don't even have to be that expensive. If you put original thought into it, you could do something so nice and thoughtful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like a park date, right?
Yeah.
Where
Literally.
That's
you've
my
made
point.
the
No,
food,
literally.
you've invested the time, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to remember people are on different levels, right? He might not have the money, and that's fair enough.
Even the fact
Yeah.
that he's
Personally,
thought
I
of,
need
I
to
want
have
to
the
do
money.
this with you.
Yeah.
He's decided we are
Exactly.
going to do this on this day at this time.
I could not agree more.
Honestly.
In my life. Like, I'm a simple woman. If I know that you've paid attention to what I like or what you think I might like or whatever, I will literally do a backflip for the effort rather than the amount of money that you've spent on me.
I'm not gonna lie, I won't be backflipping unless you're spending money too.
See, like, I get uncomfortable about money. We all know that I get uncomfortable about money. Like, people are spending too much on me, and I'm like, what do you want? What do you want?
Yeah, I'm not that.
So it's one of the. Yeah, like, what do you want?
It's not even
from
what do you want.
me?
I'm just a bit like, you don't need to do that. Do you know what I mean?
I just
like,
feel
you
like
don't need to do
ask,
that.
can I just ask, because I'm really interested in what you guys think too much money is.
No, I'm not saying
it's
too much
the
money.
same.
I'm not saying too much money.
What you said that spending too much.
As in,
what's
like,
too
I don't
much?
like. I do really appreciate when people spend money on me, but I do feel uncomfortable. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, but
what
is too much?
that? What is like the? What is too much? You get what I mean? Because I'm thinking
It's not the quantity. It's the
It's
fact that
just
you've
money.
paid. It's the fact that you've spent your money on
sis, you need to get comfortable quickly because
me. Like, don't get
that
me wrong. I
could-
really appreciate it, and it happens, innit?
Yeah.
But then I'm
Yeah.
like,
because that could
I'm like, you really didn't have to do that, and then I'm like, thank you.
to that could literally vary from like 60.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay, interesting.
It doesn't matter. It's the fact that you
Anything
spent your
over a
money.
tenner.
What'd you say?
Hannah, my heart is
Hannah, what did you just say?
Is that wild?
What she did? So did she say?
No,
10?
she did.
That's 2 bus tickets.
So you know,
Nah, go to work.
so you know, if someone picked me up like a coffee or something like that, I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I'd 100% do that for anyone in a heartbeat. Like, not even think about it. But if you're going over a tenner and you're getting a bit like, I don't know, I feel a bit like, oh.
So what if you got your
Wild,
McDonald's meal with extra fries?
I'm never spending a tenner on Mackies. I'm like 99p.
Do you know what?
But I wouldn't be happy if someone got me Mackies either, unless I was hungover and I really wanted
It's
it.
different, isn't it? Yeah.
And you know what? That's your modern woman. So who am I to tell you?
No,
what
but
to
like
do?
I know, like
Yeah.
I struggle.
Hannah, we're going to
With
sort this out
this.
because that's a bit.
I struggle with this in myself because I want to be respected in the
Yeah.
sense of like they want to.
spend
You
more
would
than
be
£10.
respected for you.
Honey, I'll pay.
It's
I'll
not
pay.
even that they want to spend more than £10. It's that they want to put in the effort to show that they're putting in the effort.
I think you're
it doesn't
really.
matter. There's no pound sign attached to that, but I want to see the effort. Like, it could be a picnic.
Yeah.
It could literally be like what you've picked up that I really like, and that could amount to £5, and I'd be literally like probably in tears.
Do you know what? In
Like-
principle, on Pete, I know this sounds so sarcastic what I'm about to say, but in principle, that sounds really sweet, and I understand. I understand
Yeah.
why. No, it does in
Yeah,
principle
no.
because you are concerned with getting to know men that want to get to know you.
Yeah, I'm
you.
sick of them.
And I'm-
Like what? I'm great.
And I'm saying,
You
and
need
to
to
make it
get
clear,
to
it's
know
not that I'm
me.
not concerned with men that don't want to get to know me. I'm not saying that. I would just like the execution to not be a tenner. Do you get what I mean? That's all.
That's fair
That's
enough.
what I'm saying. Like,
That's fair enough.
But that's just me.
I don't judge people for like wanting more than that,
No.
but like, yeah, I'm just a simple girl.
I'm screaming because I'm like, what's your tax bracket, babe?
I'm
Like,
sorry, but like you're
What is the credit score
like
say?
put it this way. Like, I'm assuming that you're dating people at least your age,
right now.
24,
Shit.
and my man is shaking over £10.
Legit.
Yeah, I just couldn't.
I can't.
Because for me,
because I'm not shaking over £10.
So
I'm
I
not. Do you know what I mean?
I
Like,
said this.
I
I
would
know.
spend. I would
shaking
spend
over
more.
£10.
Yeah.
I found £10 in my drawer the other day, and I was like, oh, that's nice.
I wanted to go. I mean,
I didn't be like, let me spend this on a man.
Absolutely can't. No.
But
That's what you can do with
also,
it, innit?
I
get
don't.
what-
I also don't. I don't attract people like that. Do you get what I mean?
Like
Yeah,
what?
that only spend £10.
Because
You
I don't
must
give.
be mad.
I'm sorry. I just don't give that energy. I don't give. I'm a simple woman,
I
laid
don't-
back.
yeah, exactly.
Really?
That's just.
I
not.
don't feel like I do. Like maybe this
When
podcast
you
is
don't
raining
what
me
you're
for
saying-
Now when
You're
you
literally
start
saying
chatting,
it.
I bet you're
Yeah,
like
I know. I'm saying it now. That's why I said this
I was like,
podcast is
but
raining me.
your lips.
Like basically, what I want to put it down to is I want to be made to feel special.
Okay.
I don't have
And
a
that
pound
for you is
sign
not
attached
about
to that.
money.
It's not. But like, I would like to be taken out to a nice. I like food. Do you know what I mean? I say this
You
often.
know what,
enough.
girl?
I
I'll
fucking
do
love
it.
food.
And I'm telling you, what I'm going to do, yeah, boys, it's setting the
You know, I just
standards.
wait, let's say
It's setting the standards.
Screaming.
Like, I want to be made to feel special, and that's
Don't worry,
it.
babes, I've got you.
Like, if you, but that's what I mean. Like, I would probably
not
feel
what-
uncomfortable if you spend a lot of money, but like, I can force myself to get over. I'll just have to be like,
Being fake to feel special isn't about money. Can I just clarify?
It isn't.
Let's
Trust
just
me.
clarify
Trust
that
me.
because that's not the energy that I want to like come across. That
Yeah.
we're all like, if it's not this amount of money,
Just like I
attached
don't
to
want to
it.
be like a cheap date.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to be made to feel special.
It's more the fact understanding the like sort of person you're with. So if you know your girl is going to appreciate that you've taken time to pick all their favorite food, pick a part that she loves on a sunny day, over you taking her to fucking Hakkasan, then do that. Because there's no point in him taking you to... You're going to be like, I would have much rather just spent time with you in an environment that we can enjoy someone's company.
Rather than you sweating about the bill.
Exactly.
Let's go do Ultimate Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
why
go
I
do
say it's
something
about the person.
And I can't believe I'm even saying this because it's so off.
But I just couldn't...
What is it?
Yeah. I'm just not... Yeah, go on, what were you going to say?
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I do.
It's about you.
It is
It's
about
everybody.
me. It's literally about me.
It's so off brand, but everybody knows that I want like a man who probably is a lot more traditional. But I also realized probably this year that even certain men that I think have a certain tax bracket who can give you that life, let me tell you, they can't give you other things. No, they can give you that tax bracket, but they can't give you time. So it's like, okay, you're making all this money, that's great, but like you don't even have time for me. So
where's the fun?
Do you know what I mean? What's my favourite
Where's
movie?
the enjoyment?
one man literally said to me like, do you want nice things or do you want me to be with you all the time? And I was like,
I'm sorry.
What a choice.
why can't I have both? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why
Yeah.
can't I have both?
You
Because
can have both.
I don't want the most amazing things. I do, but like in my regards, right? In my terms. So like, it is definitely not just all about money, but I think money should also be important. Because it shows a sign of somebody investing in you, and if somebody's willing to invest time and money in you, then you know that they care.
And let me make it very clear, I don't want anyone riding around on my coattails.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I work hard for everything that I get. I don't want someone just like being like, oh, you know, you as a modern day woman, feminist or whatever, like, you know, you can look after me. What? We're both doing this. We're both doing this so we can both treat each other. Do you know what I mean?
Big facts.
That's more my vibe.
Sorry to kind of go backwards, but if your long-term partner or your husband earns significantly more than you, so let's say significant, say you're on 45k a year, but then your partner...
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Say you're on 45k a year, which is already a lot, but your partner's on 100k. That is a very big jump. Do you get what I mean? Would you be okay with them assuming that because they earn so much more, you are going to leave your job and be a stay-at-home mum?
No.
I mean, I don't want any assumptions because
Exactly.
come on, communication it's fundamental. What's the point in you having a mouth if you ain't going to use
But it
it?
doesn't.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
but it could literally
put
just
that
be.
on
It could be a
t-shirt.
conversation like, "Oh, babe, I'm not gonna lie to you. Just because I earn significantly more, I assume you'd be happy to stay home."
But
It's
the
the
thing is,
assumption.
but the thing is though, but also before that, you need to know the dynamic of the relationship that you're in.
Yeah, exactly.
So that won't be
You
an
don't just get to that
issue
point.
if
Yeah,
that were
probably
so.
like
Yeah, you don't just
jump
Jesus.
to that point.
If that were me, yeah, and he said that to me,
Thank you,
absolutely
Jesus.
fine.
That's
But
what
for
I'm
example,
saying.
if he said that to you, be like, I'm sorry, like we need to
Yeah.
discuss this.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
exactly.
"Yeah, I know I earn less."
Exactly.
But in
So I
another way,
think
yeah.
it depends on the dynamic of the
Yeah.
relationship that
Yeah.
you're in
And you should
already.
have said that already.
Yeah.
So you know how obviously on Blue Therapy, guys, when you watch it, these people are having these conversations. I'm like, how did you not know your partner beforehand?
Yeah.
How have you got to that point with your partner?
this far?
This
Or,
far,
At
and
the
you're
same time, they say
so-
they set the precedent now,
Did
and then
they?
it's changed.
That
So,
one girl did, yeah.
What is it, Jamal and...
What's her name?
Mrs. Prada hat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mrs.
Prada
Miss
hat.
Prada hat.
So she's saying, like, this is how it began, innit? This is how it began. And me, even if it began that way, if someone takes a switch and wants to start saving, wants to start building for the
legitimate
future,
reasons,
for the legitimate
then
reasons, and we have a
baby.
conversation about that,
Let's
then,
sell the Prada
then
hat.
that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. We don't have to be like, well, this is what I expected because this is what we went going in. She's basing everything off her dad.
Yeah.
Go marry your dad then.
She's
like.
a very extreme version
She
of a
is.
traditional woman, though.
She is. But what I said to Estelle, I was like, go ask your mum at this age, was there
What
any
was
of
she
this?
working with? What was she working
Because
with?
her
at your
dad was,
age?
they were probably having the same arguments.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Your dad
You've
that
got to
you
give
see
a little.
now that's been looking after you and your sisters and your mum is not the man that your mum has probably been with all this
The
time.
difference is, I feel, is the attitude of the modern woman and the role that feminism plays in it. She's saying, this is what I've grown up looking at. That's a traditional relationship. So her mum probably lived being like, this is what I want. I'm traditional. He is traditional. He's looking after the 5 young girls and looking after me and doing everything, driving them everywhere, being the breadwinner and whatever. That was good for them. However, she's got the influences of a modern day woman, modern day feminism. She's internalizing that however she wants to do, and rightly so, but she's basing it still on a traditional view and then expecting that of him without any sort of communication.
Exactly. And you know what? We've already said it. That's within her choice. Like, that's her prerogative. If you want to believe that's what you want in life, then fair enough. So in that situation, she could just leave, but she's choosing not to, which I think is unfair. If you genuinely don't believe somebody's giving you what you need, just leave. But she knows that he clearly is a good guy and she's not gonna leave. But I think it's sad that she's almost pushing him in a way. But good on him, even though I didn't like how he asked her certain questions. You know, I thought that was a bit rude. Talking about what she brings to the table. Sir.
I think she
no.
I'm so sorry.
I think she deserved it.
I think she deserved it.
I think she deserved it. But this is also why I think it's important.
I'm sorry.
She
do
emasculated him the
that
whole
at
way
home.
through.
No.
She kept saying, as a man, you're not doing enough. As a man.
Yeah.
Do you know how rude that
But
is?
this is
You
why I
can't-
think
deserved it.
it will be
he was
very.
matching energy.
He was matching the energy, and now she was like,
And in my view, neither of them should have done it. That's disrespectful.
This is why I
You
think
shouldn't
it'll be
be
very
disrespecting each other.
important to get a guy on this like pod to like for this topic in particular. So obviously, guys, if you're brave
We
enough,
need a modern day man and a
I
traditional
have
man.
I have people
Or a
in mind.
hybrid traditional man, please. Thank
So
you.
guys, honestly, if you want to be
Or
on the pod,
hybrids.
if you want to be on the pod, drop us a DM because at the end of the day, I'm not looking at Twitter right
but
now.
don't be doing up Lucas on backchat because we're police. I don't have security for
Drop
that.
us a DM in our podcast if you would love to come and chat about your thoughts on can a traditional guy be with a modern day woman and what traditionalism looks like to you. I think this has been a good chat / therapy session.
Yeah, we could go on all night. To be
Guys, if you want to take Hannah out, just
Bro.
show.
It's so funny.
Wait,
We're cutting that
I'm
out.
also single, by the way. Let me make that very clear.
I'm also single. But,
I was like, rep yourself, bro.
But
I'm so sorry.
but relax. I've got too much time. I haven't got enough time, so
This
You
has
got
been
too much
so
or not
good,
enough?
though.
not enough time.
These have been
Not
really,
enough
really
time.
good, you know.
I like
These
it.
have been
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Shout out
Shout
to
out.
Flavor Hut,
Thank you,
Flavorful.
Best.
This was the NKC podcast with Kaycee and Kay. Thanks for listening, guys. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. Peace to the motherland.
Ooh.